Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. We have amazing new Yu-Gi-Oh news. So many new cards, got new zombies. These are looking crazy and some very strange support and a really cool, potentially huge troll card coming out of the game. But let's go ahead and get started with some of these brand new cards coming in. DarkWing Blast. I believe these are the final cards, or most of the remaining final cards, because we're almost finished with the set. So if you're excited about new Yu-Gi-Oh cards, drop a like on this video. But let's get started with the Hanshi Kyodo Spirit, which is a level 5 Wind Warrior Pendulum Spirit effect monster with 2400 attack, 1000 defense, and its pendulum scale is 9. So its pendulum effect is if a monster's pendulum summon, return this card to the hand. Okay, that could be pretty dang interesting. The monster effect is when this card is normal summon, you can return as many of your cards in the same column as your cards in the pendulum zone as possible to hand. Then you can add one monster with 2400 attack and 1000 defense from your deck to your hand, except for Hanshi Kyodo Spirit. The second part of the effect is once returned during the end phase, if this card was normal summon or flipped face up this turn, return it to the hand. So it's like spirit support. Obviously it's a spirit pendulum. That is, I want to say, maybe the first. Now going into this for the targets, I believe it said specifically 24. Let's go to monster. Let's see what are the targets that can actually be for this effect. Okay, so we actually have, we can go for clean monolith. There's illusionary snatcher. I believe there's, yeah, the monarchs are there as well. What is this supposed to support? Is it supposed to be support for spirits? Like monarch pendulums would be a very interesting mix-up, but considering a lot of this stuff wants you to have no cards in the extra deck, I guess as long as you pen them out, maybe, right? But nonetheless, let's check out the rest of the cards. So next up we have the Laughing Puffin, the Jester Bird. So it's a level 4 DarkWing Beast effect monster with 1000 attack, 1700 defense points, and it says you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part is if there is a face-up spell / trap on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. The second part is you can attribute one Wing Beast monster, then target one face-up spell / trap on the field, return it to the hand. Also, you can activate cards or effects of cards with that name for the rest of this turn. This is a quick effect if all monsters you control are winged beasts. Okay, being able to bounce back a lot of cards and maybe getting certain effects, it's like when you activate it, there's lots of field spells that are searchers, or like, you know, tanky, you just instantly search, right? This could be interesting to reset some of those effects. I mean, it's a very easy summon condition, and then being able to just bounce back a card could be definitely pretty good, and considering it could be a quick effect too. Cool. Next up we have Doom Tune GT19. Is this like what is it, the FA support? It says you can only use the first and one of the first and second effects of this card's name per turn, only once a turn. The first part, as a flip effect, you can declare a level from 1 to 9. This card becomes the declared level until the end of this turn. The second part is during the main phase, if this card was flipped face up as a quick effect, you can target one other face up monster on the field immediately after this effect resolves. Synchro summon it using only that monster and this card. Okay, pretty dang cool. Being able to like instantly synchro as like a surprise mechanic. I like it. Next up though, we have the Psychic Rover, which is a level 2 dark psychic effect monster, 0 attack, 700 defense points. And it says if this card is special summon, you can roll a 6-sided die. And if the result is 1 or 6, destroy up to 2 cards on the field. Okay. The second part is if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can roll a 6-sided die. And if the result is 2, 3, 4, or 5, special summon this card. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck while this card is summoned this way, is face up in the monster zone. Okay, that's a very interesting effect. Being able to pop 2 cards. I don't know if someone's you could run it in TR Elements, because as long as it's sent to the graveyard, you get some sort of bonus to maybe get out a monster. Considering it says the extra deck, I don't know what else you could really use it with, because that's mostly what people would want to use it for. But maybe someone can figure out like what this would be good, and it definitely has some potential. I don't know if you'd use it like Light Sworn, yeah, but maybe like as a tribute. Next up though, we have Dark Steed of the Deceased, set in return, horse, spirit, or spirit Kuko comeback horse. Anyways, level 8 dark, a plant. What? New plant support. Okay, so 100 attack, 2000 defense points. Says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part is unless it is the battle phase, send this card to the graveyard. The second part is at the start of the battle phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you get to send one plant monster from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard to special summon this card. Then you could special summon one monster from either graveyard to your field, but send all monsters special summoned by this effect to the graveyard at the end of the battle phase. Oh, okay. That's a very interesting effect. Next up though, we have Omerta Kalupov, which is a level 4 Dark Beast Warrior effect. Monster 1400 attack and 1400 defense points, and it says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part is if this card is normal or special summon, equip the top card of your deck to this card as a face down equip spell that gives it 500 attack. Wow, that's a very interesting effect. Second part is during each end phase, your opponent calls the original type of card, monster, spell, trap, equipped by this card's first effect, and if they call it correctly, send this card to the graveyard. Otherwise, discard one random card from their hand. If you do, return this card to the hand. What the heck is this? This is a really weird card. For sure. Next up, though, we have reincarnating Shamizan Calico, which is a new zombie synchro that's also a tuner. That's level 3, 1600 attack, 1200 defense points, and is going to be a generic, so it's 1 tuner and 1 plus non-tuner monsters. And it says that you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. The first part of the effect is during your opponent's main phase, you can, as a quick effect, immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using materials you control, including this card. Second part of it is if this card is in your graveyard, you get to target one other synchro monster in your graveyard, return to the extra deck, and if you do, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, kind of give me like maybe Splashball and Mayakashi vibes over there as a stepping stone. Next up, though, we have, oh gosh, this card's name is super long. I think it's supposed to be because Volvo the Death Originator Vassal Dragon slash Volo the Doom Originator Vassal Dragon. Okay, although it's a zombie. Okay, so rank 6 Dark Zombie Exceeds effect monster, 2400 attack, 1300 defense points. Materials are 2+ level 6 monsters, and it says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part is monsters you control gain 100 attack and defense for each card in your opponent's graveyard. The second part, as a quick effect, you can target one card in your opponent's graveyard, then detach 1 or 2 materials from this card to activate this effect based on the number detached. So 1, shuffle into the deck. 2, if it is a monster, special summon it to your field in face up attack position, face up defense position, or face down defense position. Otherwise, set it to your field. Okay. Interesting effect as well. Next up, we have Calamity Upon the Hidden City, which is a continuous spell card that says your opponent cannot target face down defense position monsters you control with card effects. That is actually pretty good for flip effects. And the second part is monsters you control that were flipped face up while this card was on the field gain 1500 attack and defense. Okay, maybe some defense OTK coming back. The third effect is if this card is in your spell and trap zone, is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can target one monster in your graveyard to spell summon it and face down defense person. Okay, cool stuff indeed. Overall, like really solid effects. Like I said, I think we might be able to troll a little bit with the defense OTK with that. Next up, we have another bamboo sword. Okay, so this is True Bamboo Sword, which is an equip spell that says the equipped monster gains 0 attack. The second part is if the equipped monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, you can destroy all monsters they control. So just equip it with something they can attack directly, right? The third part is if the equipped monster is sent to the graveyard, you get to equip one bamboo sword, equip spell from your deck to a face-up monster on the field, except for True Bamboo Sword. Okay. Very interesting, because you can equip stuff to your opponent's stuff and then still get, like, what is it, with a curse, that can still get a bonus effect once it hits the grave, or just equip something because you can still activate, what is it, Golden Bamboo, as long as, I believe, a monster exists. I don't think the monster has to be your monster to get the draw, too. Next up, though, we have Smoot Archfiend, which is a normal trap card that says you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. First part is neither player can special summon monsters of the same type. Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, exceeds Link as a monster they control for the rest of this turn. Also, if you do not control more than one of each Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, exceeds, and or Link monster, all Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, exceeds, and Link monsters you currently control gain 500 attack. Okay, this could be pretty interesting. You could lock out certain decks with it. Next up, though, we have, and this is not a continuous, right? It's just, okay, for the rest of the turn. Okay, so it does kind of still shut down certain archetypes, you know, like D-Bear, you just shut down someone, but it's not a continuous. But either way, we have Star-Crossed Meeting, which is a normal trap card that says you can only use this card's name first or second effect per turn each. The first part of the effect is to reveal a ritual monster from your hand and add a ritual monster with the same level but a different name from your deck to your hand. The second part is you can banish this card from your graveyard, then summon one ritual spell from your hand to the graveyard. This effect becomes that card's effect that ritual summons a monster when the card is activated. Okay, lots of really awesome, interesting support. Like, it's not even for like Wing Beast, right? So there's so many things, but we're not done yet. This card I actually did check out already, but it's a pretty interesting card. So it is called Upside Down, and obviously Convulsions of Nature is going to be used with this. It's a normal trap card. It says add the bottom card of your deck to the hand, then place one card from your deck on the bottom of the deck. So this has a lot of really cool uses. So you get to automatically add one. It is a trap, so it's a little bit slower, so unfortunately gonna have to wait. But with like Gishki Diviner and stuff, being able to place that card from your deck on the bottom of it, then flipping it around, you could Gishki Diviner, you can use the Archfiend's, I think it's called Archfiend's Oath. I actually recently did a video on this, and if you guys want to check out what it would be good in with the Gravekeeper's Convulsions of Nature Archfiend's Oath trap setup, where you get to actually make it so your opponent actually never gets to actually draw additional cards. Whatever they have, that's what they have for the rest of the duel. It's actually pretty nasty. It's more of a troll deck, but I mean, this is definitely going to be supporting it. But let me know, guys, what your thoughts are on these new cards. I think it's really cool. Like, this has got my gears turning. I like that more than just like a brand new archetype. But anyways, thanks for tuning, guys. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here and you want to see more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards, because I guess we're getting a couple more. It does technically say the most of the remaining cards, so we might get like a last announcement very soon. But subscribe, and I'll show you guys them when it is out. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.